Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel, and as you can see behind me today, we've got this lovely New Holland T6.155. So this is a 4-cylinder, 155 horsepower tractor, which I've got on trial for a few days to see what it's like on the farm, carrying out our farm tasks. So it's going to be exciting. I haven't properly driven it yet. We'll take it out on the road and just take it for a spin. Something I've been looking at over the last year is a tractor which is relatively affordable, compact for around our small yards, and also something which is fairly economical on fuel. The red diesel price here in the UK has gone up through the roof. It's just gone up another 8 pence per litre. AdBlue's going up. The cost of everything is going up. So we're trying to look at a more affordable tractor for our farm here, and something which will be practical and reliable. And I think this tractor is going to be a fantastic one to look at, because although it's a high spec, this is a 50 kph model, it's got front and cab suspension, it's comfortable on the road, it's still got plenty of power as well, 155 horsepower, but it's got a couple of things on it which I really appreciate. It's got manual spool valves, and it hasn't got a display system on it, which I actually quite like for a change. It's a fairly basic and yet modern tractor at the same time. Not everybody wants a tractor with all the bells and all the whistles. For what we want on this farm, 50 kph, which is the speed it goes on the road, is fantastic for hauling our cattle box, all of our cattle around from the marshes. That's a must. But then other than that, once I've got front and cab suspension, 50k, a fair bit of grunt, I'm happy with not a lot else, because I don't really need that many gizmos on my tractors anymore. You know, we just need something which is basic, reliable. This particular tractor hasn't got too many complicated emission systems with the EGR and DPF systems. It's just got a good, reliable AdBlue system. So I'm really excited about taking this for a spin today and working it over the next few days. So I'll just show you around the tractor quickly, and then we'll take her out on the road. All right, so as you can see, she's been fitted with some fairly decent tyres, this particular T6. It's got 650 Michelins on the back and some 540s on the front, and I must say it really sets this tractor off. And with this being a 4-cylinder model, it's slightly lighter than the 6-cylinder variant. And you know, with some wider tyres, I think that's a really good idea for reducing ground compaction. I think that these tyres just really set this tractor off in a really good way. And I think if I was to ever have anything like this, a T6, it would be with some 650 Michelins. It's also got a front linkage on the front. There isn't a PTO, but you have obviously got the linkage for if you wanted to put a front weight on. When we get the smart box very soon in the future, I could put the front weight on for doing some heavier jobs, such as lifting up the Pottinger Synchro. Moving around to the back, it's got the solid deep dish rims, which I do quite like. The rear linkage, very traditional New Holland at the moment. This is very similar to what you get on the larger T6 and T7 models. It's got air brakes, being a 50k model as well, and I think just a very well designed tractor, very similar what we had not that long ago, just miniaturized the T7 we had. So you know, it's probably a bit more usable for us around our smaller farm here. Stepping into the cab, we've got this lovely leather seat. That's the passenger seat, and I must say, for a, you know, if this would be a secondary tractor, a yard tractor, that's quite a nice premium feature actually. And then if we sit into the cab, something I like, we haven't got the computer in this particular model. It's just a basic digital screen for showing us our gears. That's all I want to see at the end of the day. Yeah, it's very comfortable in here. You've got plenty of space in there. You've got the small screen down there. Like I said, I don't need a big fancy screen with GPS and all the rest of it in my yard tractor. It's not something I would actually want. And we have got on this one the valve for the 4th valve there, so that we can have 5 spool valves, which is quite a good idea. Something else which I think is brilliant with New Holland and Case is you get a sunroof as standard, and if you want to let a bit of fresh air in the summer when it gets hot, that is such a good idea, and you don't have to pay for that. On some other manufacturers, that you'd have to pay for to have something like that, to have a sunroof. So I think that's a really good idea that they've done that. I could easily see myself cultivating or mowing in here for a good 12-14 hours, quite easily. I always put my phone underneath there like that, whereas in the other tractors it's difficult to put your phone somewhere because it always rattles around the cab. That's a really good idea. So in this model we haven't got an electric handbrake. We have to go back down here to a manual, old school, which I like. And then forwards, we're currently in C range, so we're in a little bit of a high range. So if we go down the gear and we can press auto, and if you have a look down there, we've now gone into automatic. So it's like driving an automatic car. These tractors these days are pretty easy to drive, and The steering lock is really good on this little tractor around this yard. Oh, and this is the moment of truth. What is she going to think about this? Let's see what they look like side by side. I'm actually too sure what these look like together. Dare I say it, the T6 is about the same height as this 6R, maybe a little bit taller. I'd say they're about the same height. Very similar though. What do you think about them together? Leave a comment in the comment section down below. T6 or the 6R? Which one would you have? Okay, so now for the moment of truth. We'll just head down the road and I'm going to try and get it up to 50k when we get to the main road. So we're just back in automatic, so I don't have to do anything. It's like an automatic car. She's speeding up on her own. And then I've got my speed just in the middle of the dashboard, which is still analog, as you can see down below. Some old school features, which I love. A realistic tractor for the modern day farmer who, you know, has a realistic budget. I really like and appreciate that about this tractor. It's a tractor for everyone. You know, it's the blue collar, get the job done tractor. You know, and driving along here, there's a few potholes up this road. I'm amazed by how the cab is soaking it up, and the front suspension. You know, I wouldn't have expected to be comparing it to the 6R, but it is pretty as good as a 6R on the road. It's really, really good. It still seems to have quite a bit of poke, because you've got 155 horsepower. That's still a fair old whack. It's enough to do the job, but nothing more. You know, it's just enough. That's a perfect amount of horsepower. And it runs at 130 horsepower and then boosts up to the 155. Some people say, what's the point of having a 100 horsepower tractor with 50k, because you never have the power to get up the hills, which is true. However, with this, you've got 155 horsepower to get you up the hills. It's 4-cylinder, so it's more fuel efficient, and it's 50k. Fresh air! Fresh air in the cab. That's something I haven't had the 6R for a long time when I'm on the road. That's awesome. I would imagine this would be a capable machine and the perfect size really for our farm and for what we want to do. Nothing less and nothing more, just bang on. I'm not touching the gears, and then you've still got the low down torque because it's power shift. Which is what you want for 155 horsepower. I want to be utilising all of the power out of this small tractor. That's why I wouldn't have something like this with a Vario gearbox, because the Vario would zap too much power out of the engine, whereas with a larger 6-cylinder 200 horsepower tractor you can afford to lose that horsepower. Something I'm really appreciating is the airflow coming through this cab. Having driven the 6R for so many years, you do just get used to all the windows shut, no cab roof open. Well, on our particular one, which hasn't got a sunroof, and I've missed the fresh air in the tractor, I must say. Back from the 30 days when I used to have those pop windows on our old 6930. First impressions, this looks like it could be a pretty good tractor. We'll have to wait and see, and let me know what you think about the T6 so far. Thanks for watching today's video. Stay positive in these difficult times, and we'll keep trying out this lovely New Holland. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you on the next one.